So this is the day following the track. Still need to put my bed cover on. I was planning to do that this morning, and I went to start the truck and it would not start. I can only assume that I overheated the fuel pump driving it home on low gas. So we'll get it back in the garage. So I'm going to show you my process here. And this is use at your own risk. I am only showing this for demonstration purposes. If you have a similar need and you want to follow a similar process, it's totally up to you to figure this out, but I'll show you what I got. Alright, so the daily driver I have parked in the garage just so I can pull up against something. I have tow strap wrapped around the wheel. As I need to pull more length, as I currently do, I'll just wrap more passes around the wheel to take length out of my, this is a 25-foot tow strap. This is a worn electric pulls-all winch, and I have a heavy-duty 110 cord running to it. I have a couple of axle straps just to make this a little bit easier for attachment points. Since I'm using a snatch block over there, I am doubling the power of the winch by pulling against itself. So the pull cable is actually attached to this axle strap, which is piggybacked off of the back strap here. So that allows me to, as I tension, I'm pulling half the cable tension off the tire here, and then the other half of the cable comes back to the winch. So again, that doubles your torque because that basically acts as a leverage point. Instead of being a 1-to-1 ratio, now you're a 2-to-1 ratio. Or, yeah, 2-to-1 ratio. Underneath the truck, I just have axle straps wrapped underneath it. So I'm going to rearrange my straps on this side, and then I'll show you what we got going on with it. Alright, I got my straps, made a couple extra passes around the wheel here, just to take up some slack. And then we are ready to pull tension on our winch here. So flip it back into the other direction. Okay, so I have just a little bit of light tension on it. This will, now I'm ready to release the parking brake. Since the truck is in neutral, we'll resume pulling again here. This allows me to release the parking brake without having the truck roll and pull really hard on my setup here. So we will pull one more time. So as we get more tension on it, the winch is actually lifting off the ground. That's totally fine. That just means we're putting more tension laterally instead of just kind of dragging the truck along. I do want to take a quick peek at how we're doing over here. Make sure we're not about to hit the wall. We're looking good there. We can do some minor steering corrections if we need to. But we're looking pretty good, so we'll just keep easing her up. Now, once I get to about here on the snatch block, I'm going to stop. So I've only got about another 6 inches or 8 inches of pull here. Alright, now it's slowing down because I'm now on the ledge of the concrete. So it's a good place to stop for now. We'll reassemble, reset here, and I'll be back to you guys in a second. Okie dokie. Did one more wrap around the tire. Pulled out a couple of my axle straps. Pulled out a couple of my axle straps just to change my length a little bit. And We're getting ready to pull one more time. I'm gonna put a floor jack under the rear bumper just to take a little bit of weight off the truck. Hopefully that'll come up with those ledges a little bit easier. This allows me to keep rolling the floor jack as well. Again, super fucking sketchy. Take this as entertainment only. Well, that was an unexpected surprise. After we cleared that lip, the slight downhill nature of the driveway actually rolled the truck about another 1.5 feet backwards. So we got some bonus distance out of that pull. In fact, I could still pull it a little bit more if I want to, before I run out of cable. As I continue to pull, in general, the more diagonal we are, the less efficient we're going to be pulling. So here in a little bit, probably after I finish this pull, I'm going to move my attachment point further up on the truck somewhere. Maybe grab a lower control arm or something like that, and that will allow me to pull more in line with the direction we're pulling or trying to pull. So we're making progress. It's just slow going. So wish me luck. We'll keep going with this. All right, we're getting tighter and tighter in the garage here. About halfway the distance I need to cover to get the bed cover on. So we're looking pretty good so far. I want to show you my new setup. I have wrapped on the lower control arm under the truck here, and I have all my axle straps running end to end here. So what I can actually do is, as I loosen this guy, so I currently have parking brake set, I'm going to pull tension off of the truck, and then I can actually just move my hook up to the next D-ring, or maybe even the further one out, depending on what the winch length looks like. But that's going to be the fastest way to reset this without changing major links. So that I can use these as kind of like, almost like a modular Lego set type of thing of changing length on those. So that's the plan. Alright, I got the truck further enough back. Got the truck further enough back into the garage. A little bit left to right from where I was when I pulled out, but just wedged a piece of cardboard in there just to protect the cab and the cover of the corner of the cover. So we should be ready to loosen our straps, lower the bed cover. We're gonna have to pull it a little bit to the side as we come down with it, but should be ready to get this thing back on. Then we can finish winching the truck the rest of the way into the garage. We still got another about 5 feet or so to go. All right, the bed cover is on, so that part of the objective is done. We still got to bring the truck in, so we're gonna keep pulling a little bit at a time. Alright, I'm going to be really sad if this thing starts. I'm still working on getting it in the garage, but just want to double check that it is still cranking and no starting. Yep. So, I just want to double check that because I still probably have another 20 or 30 minutes worth of pulling to get this thing the rest of the way into the garage, and then I got to put all the stuff away. But Yep, she still broke.